We are with North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson, and we're talking about a smattering of all kinds of things, everything really to do with your wallet. So let's first and foremost start with Duke Energy.
Sure. Duke is what we call a regulated monopoly, which means they're basically the only provider, but in exchange for that, they don't get to set their rates. They don't get to set prices. They got to come to the state, the Utilities Commission, and ask permission. Part of that process lets me, the Attorney General, intervene on behalf of ratepayers. So Duke is asking for an 18% increase. We're intervening and saying, no, 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 we think that's way too high. That needs to come way down. They just agreed yesterday to take it from 18 to about 11.5. We still think that's too high, so we'll be making our case in the next couple of months to the Utilities Commission.
Right, and then I know that they have a bunch of different hearings, that kind of stuff. When is it all settled so people can be like, all right, this is the date that I need to really focus in on?
It's going to be this fall. We don't know exactly the date. Utilities Commission gets to make the decision. They can control the timeline a little bit.
Okay, so we'll have yet another major update in September when all of that happens. All right. As we talk about money and money out of our pockets, one of the other things that you were talking about just recently was rent, and how you had made a settlement with a company that had been adjusting rents and not in a way that they should have been.
This gets back to AI and how algorithms can be used sometimes for us and sometimes against us. And this is an early instance of algorithms being used in a way that we thought was illegal to raise people's rents. It was called RealPage. It's this program, and the 6 biggest landlords, apartment complex owners in the state, they were all using it. And the purpose of this software was to try to drive rent up as high as it could. And it used data that wasn't available to the public. So instead of these major landlords competing against each other, they were able to cooperate with each other, which puts you and I as renters at a disadvantage. So we've sued RealPage, we've sued the 6 biggest landlords. Of those 6, 3 have now settled with us. We had a recent settlement last week, means they can no longer do this. We got 3 more to go, and then the big fish is RealPage itself. And we're set to take them to court. Either they have a deal that we think is fair, or we'll just see them in front of a jury.
And I think that's definitely top of mind, because I think people think that there's just not affordable housing out there, and to find out that the landlords kind of were all in cahoots about it doesn't make anybody happy.
And yet is sort of a big explanation, because as you said, people were wondering, what is a big reason why rent keeps going up? This was a big reason why.
It wasn't just the market.
It wasn't just the market.
All right, let's talk about some scams, because there's a whole bunch of scams going on right now. Summertime, 'tis the season.
Yes, big one we're seeing exploding right now is the fake Evite scam. So this is going to hit your email inbox. You're going to see a fake Evite or fake paperless post. They've gotten very good at making it look real. And what they're trying to do is to get you to log in, gain access to your email, and then they use your email to send out even more fake invitations. You got to look real close and see who the email's coming from.
That's one of the scams that get you online, and maybe you think to yourself, well, I'm not online, so no one's going to scam me. But the other big summer scam is the asphalt scam. And we've had a couple people even in this area say, yeah, people came to my house, they said they had extra asphalt, and they said they would give me a deal.
You can get scammed even if you have nothing to do with the internet at all. Those analog scams are becoming increasingly creative. Getting back to AI though, we know that the next wave of scams will be AI related. Some of it is going to be deepfakes. We're already starting to see some deepfakes get used, digital clones of people's voices, sometimes in their own family, to try and fool them.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where you have to have a code word or something of that nature with your family members and really talk to them about it.
Pineapple, banana. I mean, it's too bad that we've gotten there, but we are getting to that point where you have to employ some basic defenses against the possibility of digital voice clone.
For people who are like, I kind of know what the Attorney General does, but I don't know, how does he serve me as the regular everyday consumer? What would you tell them?
The Attorney General is a shield for you against any number of threats. Criminal threats, consumer threats, threats to your constitutional rights. We take people to court to defend all of those.
Okay, so if you need the Attorney General's office, of course they have that whole no scam number. And you're also available by the internet. I know everybody's like, I don't know, do I put my personal information on there? That's one way to make a claim or to ask a question.
ncdoj.gov, you file a complaint. We want to know, are you getting harassed with robocalls? We want to know. Is someone trying the fake Evite scam, the asphalt scam? Did you buy a car and it didn't work? We want to know. We're able to get people their money back often.
I want you to hear that. They're able to get people their money back, because that's really hard to do. Attorney General Jeff Jackson, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.